generation. I remember way back, you ain't have no swag. You did a little research, now you got a moon bag. Now you got a new walk, now you got new swag. You did a little research, now you got a moon bag. Well, let me show you what the moon bag's like. You take them gains when it gets that high. I mean, the market may dip for a little bit. That's when I hurry up and buy. Me, I just wanna rub them thighs. I like my oatmeal chunky, banana nuts all in it. Shit, you're talking about the blockchain monkeys. It's a solo nation.
Now, when it comes to crypto, we're talking about cold storage. Get your crypto off the exchange and into a cold storage wallet to where only you have access. Okay? Decent wallet link in the description. Now, what is going on, blockchain monkeys? Eagle here, and I want to thank you for coming to my jungle. First of all, I'm no financial advisor whatsoever, nor am I professional in blockchain technology. But there is one thing that I absolutely will do, and that's keep my pins. So today, we're going to go in on XRP. We're going to see what David Schwartz has to say about the Interledger protocol, and we're also going to see what Brics has going on. Now, we got Janet Yellen. We got Gary Gensler. We got the doofuses putting it right in front of your face. But before we can even get started, I'm going to need you to rub those hands together real vigorously and slide down Twitter. And coming in hot, we have MetaMan X hitting you with Sportsy. How much smoke do you want?
The same is true of ILP. We can innovate both below it and above it. But the main point that I want to make is that ILP is a micropayment technology. Over 1 billion ILP payments in 2018. And there's a reason that's important. You can do everything with a micropayment. If you think about the way the internet works, it sends a packet to its destination with the best effort. ILP does the same thing. The same is true of ILP. We can innovate both below it and above it. But the main point that I want to make is that ILP is a micropayment technology. Over 1 billion ILP payments in 2018. And there's a reason that's important. You can do everything with a micropayment. Micropayments are kind of like packets. If you think about the way the internet works, it sends a packet to its destination with the best effort. ILP does the same thing. The smarts are at the endpoints, and the same thing is true with ILP. So if I want to send somebody $100, I can just sort of start streaming money at them.
The proof is in the protocol. We've been telling you since 2018.
If you're going to make a payment in one shot, you need to get a quote. But do you get a free quote or do you pay for the quote? If you get a free quote, it's going to be a terrible quote because you've got a free option. If you're going to pay for the quote, how many quotes do you pay for? Do you just pay for one and then take it? Do you pay for 5 quotes and only take one of them? When you stream micropayments, when you make payments by micropayments, you can stream that payment through multiple forwarders, and those individual forwarders can stream that payment through multiple forwarders, and you can take advantage of that best path. And if the path is really good, you can stream money faster. And if the path is really bad, you can stream money more slowly. And the net effect is that you can manage a payment as a series of micropayments.
And no, I'm not getting paid by Ripple. I just respect the technology. Let's go.
But if we lived in the circuit switch days of telecom, packet switch, like sending a telephone call or packet switching would sound just as crazy, but it's just as innovative. If we can develop micropayments that are as cheap as a DNS request, micropayments can take over the world. We can put all of the world's.
Who are they talking to?
Modern payment platform that interoperates between both blockchain and non-blockchain.
Who are you talking to?
Interledger payments plus digital assets could be that internet of value, that way to move value all around the world.
Okay, so real quick, before we move on, we have some Brics news over here. Brics New Development Bank breaks away from the US dollar. And so we have here the New Development Bank, established by Brics Group, is moving away from the US dollar international trade. The NDB president, Dilma Rousseff, confirmed that the bank plans to provide 30% of loans in the local currencies of its member nations. The move aims to reduce dependency on the US dollar and help BRICS countries avoid foreign exchange risks and financial shortages. Now, I want to get to this Janet Yellen clip and Gary Gensler, but before we do, we have Weedsay Win coming off the top ropes again. He just continues on. We have here Zum makes a significant leap in e-commerce, bringing XRPL payments to 1 million plus stores. Now, as I read on down the article, you see they integrated with Eastwood. They have been doing, I've been watching them from the get-go, from the very start, and they have been laying the pipe for a minute, and to see XRPL coming in hot. You talk about laying the plumbing. Ripple is scouring the earth, laying his pipe on everything moving. Now, you got to give it up for Coach JV. If you're not subscribed to his channel, like literally, what are you doing? Like, matter of fact, pause this video, head on over there, subscribe, and then come on back. Take a listen.
I appreciate the opportunity to present to the Council on these two proposals, which staff of SOC member agencies work closely together to develop. The proposed analytic framework that the Council is considering today describes the approach the Council would take in identifying, assessing, and responding to risk to financial stability. This framework would apply regardless of whether a risk relates to a widely conducted activity or to specific entities. The proposed analytic framework does not impose obligations on any entity, but would help market participants and other members of the public better understand how the Council approaches potential risks. The framework is composed of 3 parts. First, it describes the Council's monitoring function. To enable the Council to identify potential risks to U.S. financial stability, the Council would monitor a broad range of markets, asset classes, and types of entities. These are described in the proposal. Second, the proposal...
So they want a new basic monitoring system on bank financial institutions and non-bank financial institutions. It's basically just a control mechanism to try to get control of the system before it spins out of control.
Hinges on
Listen to this shit.
We'll laugh, I think. How do we decide the resolution strategy? Does the firm have enough capital to make an SPOE work, or do we need to be thinking about an MPOE? Do we need to be more transparent about how we coordinate cross-border, how it would differ if we're a home or a host? For example, we get questions about planning for the bridge as well. You know, who's going to run this bridge? What assets and liabilities will go into it? And how will the FDIC oversee what's happening at the bridge and maintain that for public?
I remember Jay Clayton, who initiated the case against Ripple, is sitting in this meeting with the FDIC bail-in committee.
So that if and when we do have to have that announcement on Friday night, ideally Friday night, that people are in a position to receive it, understand it, and say, yeah, that works. And we can see how this works.
Look at this premeditated shit.
Because we're dealing with a society where people are getting their information in tweets. There's just no patience, I think, for going through.
Shout out to Twitter.
Elaborate and careful planning that has gone on. It should be there. It should be accessible when people need to know. But I don't think you have much of reaching a public that doesn't have a professional need to know.
I completely agree with that. I almost think you'd scare the public.
Eat this.
If you put this out, like, why are they telling me this? Should I be concerned about my bank? Like, my insurance company doesn't tell me what they're doing with my assets. So they just assume they're going to pay my claim.
See, that's what I want you. This is the biggest problem. They assume. What does assuming do? It makes an ass out of you and me.
Cause it's the standard in this bitch. XRP. I went to YouTube University, and now they mocking me with no degree. We saying by the swift, keep it walking. Respect your elders in these bushes. Bitcoin is talking.
You don't have to be rich to be taking advantage of this. This was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth the world has ever fucking seen since World War II.
Blockchain. We talking about an intellectual choo-choo train. It's DLT up in these streets, man. That's why we rip all on that blockchain.